Good morning. It's 4:19 a.m. and it's time for us to start our cruise. Why are we starting this early, you might ask? Because of weather. Lake Michigan can be very fickle from what we've heard from the locals. You know, one time she gives you this side of her and the other time the other. And it can get really, really rough with waves up to 12 feet just last week. So we have a pretty good weather window today. Waves are 1 to 2 feet. The wind's very, very light. And it looks like we may not be able to move for the next 5 days. So we're gonna put in a few miles, get into another region of Lake Michigan, and then explore from there. But since we are cruising at night, it's time to go into night mode.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between. Yes, bring it up. It's going towards the left. Okay, now we're up and down. Okay, bring it up. 40 feet. The water. Yeah.
Bring it all the way up?
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Michigan. Good morning.
Wow. It is like so calm and so peaceful out here.
Thank you, Lake Michigan.
About 50 minutes before sunrise and the sun has just started peeking out over the mitten. It is going to be a beautiful day. This time of day is just truly special because you're kind of super alone on the water. Not many people are cruising at this hour. We haven't seen a single boat and the water is just calm. You see the reflections from the sunrise. It's really pretty.
There it is, first light. Oh, so beautiful.
sun is out. What a beautiful, beautiful morning. Technically the sun hasn't fully come up yet, but there's plenty of light. It's just awesome. Good morning, Lake Michigan. Dolphin? I haven't seen a dolphin for thousands of miles. Ollie still got it.
Set myself aside, lead the way on this trial. If you don't know the way, we can stop and make a change. I know we walk for days, losing hope, fading love. This night will be okay, waking up to another day. Charlie girl, it's the razor's edge.
8:30, so we've been cruising for 4 hours. I'm rechecking the weather forecast because the wind is shifting today. Basically, it's coming out of the east in the morning and then out of the south late morning and then into the early afternoon, and then the south is what's going to be blowing tomorrow, causing like 8-foot waves. So I'm making sure it hasn't changed. The good thing about our cruise down the eastern shore of Lake Michigan is that there are harbors of refuge every few miles. So every like 15 to 20 miles there is a place to tuck in. So that's kind of our plan. If the weather turns sooner than we're planning, we're going to tuck into a place that's not quite our targeted destination. But it's good to check the weather and just see how things are evolving.
You may think that we're obsessive about the weather, and I would probably say yes, we are. But I think it's just because the weather is so ruly to our cruise and our comfort that it dictates it and it makes sense. So we usually check the weather probably like 5 times a day, maybe.
On Michigan for sure.
Yeah, on Lake Michigan 5 times a day. Maybe like cruising in like more protected waterways like twice a day. But yeah, we check the weather a lot.
We are about 2 hours from our final destination today, which is Saugatuck, and it also could not be our final destination if the winds kick up, which was a possibility today. But You might ask, why are we skipping so many destinations on the Michigan shore? And basically for us, with our time frame, when we got to Lake Michigan, it being after Labor Day, and also where we started, our hops have led us to Mac City, Charlevoix, Leland area, Ludington, and now here. If we were a little bit slower or had a different direction, maybe we would have been in Grand Haven or Holland or any of the other amazing destinations here on the Michigan coast. And if we were here even earlier in the season, we could easily just pop into every single one. And so there's not really one way to do it. It's how the weather is for your loop or whenever you're transiting the area, what direction the weather is out of. Because I'm not even mentioning the western side of Lake Michigan. If the winds were coming out of the west last week or this week, we would be over there. And so basically, why are we going here and not there? The weather. On top of all that, we are fair weather cruisers. We enjoy pleasure boating. We are not trying to prove anything to anyone. Our weather window for Lake Michigan, and this is what we heard and kind of evolved from other people that boat here exclusively, or this was their home ground before doing the loop, was maximum swell, like on the NOAA forecast, was 1 to 2 feet and a favorable direction. Those two things are what we go for, and if we have that, we go, and if we don't, we don't. Considering it's late in the season, there's not that many good weather days left, so we are using the days that we have and enjoying it. It's a beautiful day out. We're having a blast and excited to be laid up in Saugatuck for probably 5 days while the weather is blowing 4 and 5 foot waves in the region.
And like we said in yesterday's video, we really feel that the way to do Lake Michigan, both the Wisconsin and the Michigan side, would be to do it over an entire season. So that's June, July, and August. 3 whole months dedicated to this reason to really like do it all. But even so, I'm sure you wouldn't even get to do it all. I'm sure there would still be things that would be left undone. Another way that we've heard a lot of loopers take advantage of these days that you're kind of stuck somewhere for weather is that they've been renting a car and exploring another city that you could get to by boat but wouldn't be getting to because you choose to go further or whatnot, or in potentially a different direction. And so that's just another way that people can really optimize their time while they wait for weather, but to still like do more things in this region. We're just now passing Holland, Michigan. Hopefully we'll get to Saugatuck today. Over the past 4 days, we have been absolutely loving the scenery. We've been blown away time and time again by the color of the water, the beauty of the sand dunes, the sheer scale of the sand dunes. I mean, it's just like everything. The towns in Michigan have been so quintessential and charming and full of flavor. They are not at all vanilla. They really do have so much character to them. And so we've really been enjoying this really, really beautiful trip down, even though it's been fairly fast. And we've been trying to make the most of every second of every day in every little town and place that we've stopped at. But man, it is really beautiful. And we're so glad that we are here to enjoy it. Behind me is the Saugatuck Dunes State Park, and they are massive. I saw someone just go down it, and it looked like a marble was going down it until the marble got up and stood up and walked away and like met a friend down there. And so it was kind of crazy. They look so cool and such a neat experience. This natural environment is not at all what we're used to, so it's really special and unique for us.
We are are finally here at the turn off to Saugatuck. We made it. This well got a little bit higher towards the end of the day, but all within our threshold, which is fantastic. I'm happy to be able to dial down on the throttle a little bit for pivot, save a little bit more diesel. We've been running not hot, but like pretty high, like 1950 RPM for us, which burns like 2.5 to 3 gallons an hour. But we are going in like 7.5 knots, which is very, very, very fast for us. But it's nice to dial it back to our 1.5 gallons per hour that I love.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow.
These houses are huge. And the boats are beautiful. I did not expect this coming to Saugatuck. It's like really beautiful with like mountain cliffs kind of things going right into the water, and then just gorgeous houses just like kind of like built into the cliffside in a way. It's really impressive.
I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone. If I could take you back to my youth.
We have just pulled up to our stay here in Saugatuck, and one of the reasons, additionally to everything else we've been over this video, while we're staying here in Saugatuck in particular, is because one of our subscribers reached out and said they have a dock they're not using right now and we can use it for free. So thank you, Bruce and Cindy. And since there's the blow coming and we don't really expect to do much, it's perfect for us. So it really worked out. So thank you guys again. Coming up to the approach, and it's a little tight and tricky because it's not a marina, it's a kind of a condo association. So we're gonna focus and get pivot docked and end our massively long cruising days. And I think it's been over 200 miles in 4 days. Crazy.
Hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all. I had a feeling, but the feeling is all gone.
What a day. Like, towards the end of our cruise today, we're like, we were watching the stars this morning. Feels like a different day. It's 5. We were anchors up at just after 4 a.m., which means all in all 13 hours anchor to dock. That's a long day. No better way to end it with some beverages.
Some adult beverages.
It's 5 o'clock right here, right now. Cheers.
Cheers.
We just had a fantastic dinner with Cindy and Bruce. Thank you guys again for your hospitality. The weather is not looking good for the next few days here, folks. So we're gonna sit tight here in Saugatuck. We're going to focus on work. We're also going to sleep. It's very important. We've done almost exactly 250 nautical miles in 4 days. We've gotten up at 4 a.m. Then we got up at 7. Then we got up at 6. Then we got up at 3:45. and cruised practically all day, every day. So it's been a good solid week. We've done so many miles, and they've been really some of our favorite miles. Just cruising on Lake Michigan. It's been amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. It's time for us to start it. There's a bug on the lens. What the heck?
Our cruising window is 1 to 2.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
You're gonna say Elliot is right, and I love him, and
No, he
I
is
will
right.
marry him one day.
I am gonna marry you one day.